I rise to present AB 1950. This bill is one of the Black Caucus's priority bills. It would set a maximum probation period of 1 year for misdemeanor offenses and 2 years for some felony offenses. I want to start by saying that many of the letters of opposition stating that this bill has a one-size-fits-all approach were dated pre-amendment crossing, and those issues have been addressed. The bill exempts crimes committed against monetary property valued at over $25,000 and any specific crimes with probation term lengths identified by statute, which include DUIs, domestic violence, and strike felony offenses. Many sex crimes are ineligible for probation by statute under Penal Code Section 1203.65 and are therefore also exempt from AB 1950. But I would say that what we currently have is a one-size-fits-all approach. With any technical violation, a judge can revoke, extend terms, or restart the clock, all amounting to lengthy and costly probationary terms. AB 1950 creates reasonable and evidence-based limits on probation terms, and it offers a sliding scale approach, supporting success over punishment and lowering costs to taxpayers. It retains judicial discretion and recognizes that probation can still be revoked for substantive violations. Why is AB 1950 needed? Because the status quo has to change. Probation is racial, cultural, regional, class-based, and arbitrary. It cripples subcultures and economic economies across counties. It debilitates families. A child has to watch his or her mother endure the frustration of figuring out where to live and where to find employment, all with additional limitations that make these tasks more difficult than they are. Probation is an intergenerational curse, and it is as arbitrary as the culture of a probation department and the officers who work within it. It is as far from the vision of John Augustus as you could get. Who was John Augustus? He was the father of probation. He was a cobbler from Boston who would sit in the back of the courtroom, and he would ask the courts to leave the defendants in his care, where he would reclaim them. He would guide them with structure, with treatment, and compassion, working them towards success, not extended terms. Why is AB 1950 needed? Because probation is the most widely used form of correctional control in this state. Our adult supervised probation population is almost 400,000. It is one of the largest in the nation, more than twice the size of the state's prison population, almost 4 times larger than its jail population, and about 6 times larger than our parole population. And it clogs the courts more than any other form of supervision. A probation term may require that you continuously seek and maintain gainful employment. Your ability to travel across county lines may be restricted. You may be submitted to a search of your person or your home without warning. You may be in violation of your terms if you are late or miss an appointment, interact with friends, family members, ride in the front seat of a car, or even get pregnant. I have some real stories for you. Christopher Lalos was in violation of his term because he went to visit his mother at her house where his on-probation cousin lived. Ulysses Rodriguez was in violation of his probation because he could not complete his final 12 hours of beach cleanup for his community service during the COVID pandemic when the beaches were closed. Cruz Membrano, an Army veteran, was in violation of his probation because he could not keep his probation officer apprised of his permanent address when he was cast from temporary housing and ended up homeless living on the streets.
30 seconds.
Roderick Scudder was violated for moving 4 miles from Compton to Linwood because he signed the lease without asking his probation officer's permission, without her going to see the apartment and approve the apartment. Crystal Rios was attending community college to become an LVN and had to make a decision between going to community college and going to her probation office appointments because they would not change the appointment times. Being on probation with these extended terms is like living in quicksand. And probation departments micromanage people and apply haphazard rules designed to catch folks. This bill, the one challenge that I have committed to working on with our probation departments, is about making sure that we keep their funding supported through the SB 678 performance-based formula. Because if you can lessen caseloads and focus on intensive treatments and guidance and support, you can cycle folks off of probation successfully. People say 2 years is not a long time. You can become an air traffic controller in 2 years. If you have measurable programming, robust, responsive programming, and probation departments who are resourced and invested in working towards success, you can lower costs to taxpayers, have a successful Department of Probation, and give back folks what they want, the opportunity to lead successful lives without being tethered to the system forever. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.